Let's start by cutting out our pumpkin inspired by artist Yeo Kusama. Whenever I'm using scissors, I'm holding the scissors in the hand that I write with, and my other hand is useful in turning the paper. Cutting is a two-handed activity, and you really need that other hand to be actively turning, especially when you have something with round shapes like a pumpkin. So I'm trying to do my best to cut it out neatly. Tip is that when you get to a corner, sometimes it helps to open up your scissors wide again, rotate it, and then you can get a smooth line that goes all the way around your pumpkin. Another tip is as you go, cut to the edge so that the extra paper falls away. That'll make it easier to move the pumpkin as you continue cutting until you have the entire thing cut out. Alright, I've cut out my pumpkin. I can recycle or throw away the scraps so that they're out of the way. And now we need to glue it to our background. I'm going to flip it over. And the glue that I have is liquid glue. It's in a cup that I'll apply with a paintbrush. To do my best job gluing, I want to put glue all the way around the edge. I don't need too much. I really like liquid glue much better than glue stick because I've found that it does a much better job at actually holding on and sticking over time. I find that oftentimes with the other kinds of glue, it's harder to either get the right amount or for it to last a long time. So I'm going around the edge with just a little bit of glue and the brush. And then of course to stick it down, I'm going to have to also use my hand to smooth it down so that both of the pieces attach to each other. If it's just sitting, there could be a gap and it won't stick. When I'm done gluing, I'll just balance my brush gently in the little glue cup, flip it over, very carefully line my pumpkin up. I don't want it to be off the edge, I want it to be in the middle, and then I'm going to gently smooth down the edge with my hand. I'm not hitting it, I'm just rubbing it gently so the surfaces come together and the glue will actually work to adhere my pumpkin. Now, while it's still drying, while the glue is still liquid, it might slide around a little bit, so for that we can just be extra careful. The last step is to decorate with oil pastel. I'm trying to make our oil pastels a little bit easier to use. So I have these different setups where we have oil pastels and they are color matched underneath. So I have all of the warm colors over here, cool colors over here. You can use any colors you want, but when you're done with that oil pastel, try to put it back in the exact same circle that you found it in. That'll make it much easier for everyone else to use the colors over time. When I'm decorating with the oil pastel, one of the things I can think about is maybe making some cool patterns or designs in the background. So let's say I want to make a pattern of repeating lines. Maybe I'll start with a yellow line and draw to the edge. Then maybe I'll add an orange line on either side of each yellow line. And then I'll repeat with some other colors as well. That's an example of a simple pattern that I could do. And I could do that all the way around the edge, or I could do it in just one spot. Let's add some more colors to make it look even better. In general, I think the more detail and care and attention you put into your artwork, the better it will look. You can also think about what kind of shapes or other kinds of lines you could use when you are thinking about creating some interesting patterns. I think the more colors I add to my line pattern here, the better it's looking. But let's try out a different pattern in a different part of my picture. Over in this area, I might do something different. Maybe I will make some sort of angular geometric kind of designs and then trace around the inside of each of these shapes with a different color. So here I'm using white to create some outside designs, and then I'll switch to some different colors in here. Again, the more detail you add, the better it will look overall. I'm so excited to see the fun designs that you can think of to add all the way around your pumpkin. I still have some space here that I'd work on. Inspired by artist Yae Kusama. And if you did not finish the dots for any reason, you can use a black oil pastel to finish adding the dots.